Hello and welcome to Baking on a Budget. Now this time we're going to do another one of the budget meals. This is one of the budget meal series, and this time it is this. This is a beautiful toad in a hole served with mashed potato, gravy, carrots and broccoli, and I might even have a rock bun after that as well. Now I've got all of the materials to do this over here. I'm going to go through exactly how much of what we have and how much all of that costs. Now this is in two parts. So we have, for the toad in the hole itself, we have 2 eggs at 26p. We have 100 grams of plain flour at 5p. We have 280ml of whole milk at 10p. We have a pinch of salt, which we concoct. We have 4 sausages at £1.12. And we have 19 grams of lard, which we're going to use in the baking tray for this. We also have 20 grams of gravy granules. I'm just going to do a very simple gravy with this, just gravy granules, very simple thing. And that's 22p. So the whole cost of that is £1.77, and we will get 2 servings out of that. That makes that 88p per serving. Now for the veg, I have 200 grams of potato at 18p. This is a Maris Piper potato, very good for mashing. We have 1 carrot at 5p. In fact, we have 2 very small carrots. That would add up to a carrot, 5p. And we have some broccoli, about 20p worth. And on top of that, we'll use a little bit of butter, a little bit of cream, some herbs in the for the carrots. And let's say that all came to about 20p. It's very small amount, so you know it's difficult to cost exactly. So the total veg cost 63p. So if we have 1 serving of the toad in the hole at 88p, with this beautiful veg served with it, 63p, that means this whole meal is coming to £1.81. And as I say, I may have a rock bun after that, which is about another 18p. Okay, so that's the ingredients, and we're going to get straight onto it. Okay, so to begin with, we just want to crack the eggs into a jug, or a bowl if you wish. I'm just going to use this jug for this. There they are. And they want just a pinch of salt in with them. And then we will whisk them up. Okay, that's done. Next thing we want to do is add the flour in there. That's it. And of course this is a simple Yorkshire pudding mix. This is going to be a toad in the hole, but if you wanted to make this into individual Yorkshire puddings, it would be exactly the same procedure. Exactly the same recipe. You want to get that mixed in, get all the lumps out, and it should be quite a stiff sort of batter at this point. And then next we want to add the milk in just a little bit at a time. That would be sufficient. Mix that well in, whisk it all together. Looking good, and touch more of the milk. If you add this in just a little bit at a time, it's very easy to get a really nice smooth pouring batter, which is what we're after here. A little bit more. Put a touch more in, and I think that will do. So a little bit under the 180ml, probably about 160, something like that. It's really just a matter of what does that batter feel like, you know, and we don't want it to be too thick, and on the other side we don't want it to be too runny. So it just wants a little bit of body to it, and that will do just fine. Okay. Now, next thing we want to do is just prepare the sausages. And to prepare the sausages, this is 4 Cumberland sausages, by the way. I'm using these Cumberland sausages from Addthe. I got them from Addthe in the UK, obviously. And I'm just going to fry them up, let them brown a little bit, let them release some of the fat content, and then that will be ready to go. Okay, and that will do for them. They're parched right through, just browned a little. Obviously going to get quite a time in the oven. And they will be fine once they come out of the oven. Right, let's get them in the pan. Okay, so we're just going to get these in here. And then one more thing we want to do before we put this together, I'm just going to put a little bit of lard in the bottom of here and stick that in the oven for about 10 minutes until it's properly melted. Lard is just a couple of little pieces really, we don't want a lot, or we don't want a fantastic amount in there. That, I'm saying, should do it. So I'm going to pop that in the oven for 10 minutes. At about 180 degrees, and then we'll get it back out and get the batter in there. Okay, here we have the veg. What I'm going to do is just peel these potatoes first of all, and then I'll cube them, and we just want to get them into some boiling water to make a beautiful mash with. With this mash, I'm going to put, as I say, a little bit of cream in it, a little bit of butter, and we'll probably put a good crack of black pepper in there as well. And that will be delicious. And we just want to do the same with the carrots. I'll just top and tail them and then whip the skins off. So 2 of these smaller ones would add up to 1 decent sized carrot. Right, now I'll just get rid of this peel and I will chop the carrots this way. And then, as I say, I'll just dice these potatoes or cube them so that they will boil down in short order. So starting with the carrots, I've just got a touch of butter in there. There's about a teaspoon of butter in the pan, and we'll just let that melt down a little. And as that's melting, I'll just add those carrots and coat them in the butter. Looking good. And to that, I'm going to just put just a really small pinch of mixed herbs in there with the carrots, and that will make them delicious. I'll just turn that down, let the carrots do their thing. Now we've got the potatoes to go into this pan. I've got the broccoli here, which I'll put in the back, but I'll leave that for a while because I want these to be half done before I put the broccoli in. Obviously the broccoli doesn't take as long to cook as the carrots or the potatoes. They're well coated. I will put some boiling water in there, and equally we'll just cover the potatoes with some boiling water. Okay, the veg is doing. Back to the toad in the hole. Had about, I don't know, 10 minutes in the oven. The lard has melted nicely. I'm just going to arrange these around because I want to get 2 servings out of this, so I'll just cut this down the middle. So we'll have a couple of sausages on either side. And now we can take the batter that we made earlier, and we just want to pour that into the tin. Pour it over the sausages. So this is going back into the oven at 180 degrees centigrade. It's going to stay in there for about 25-30 minutes. Again, just keep an eye on it, see how it's doing. If it's looking too browned on top, whip it out. But it should have all risen by then, and it will be absolutely delicious. Here we go. Okay, now as I say, for the gravy for this, I'm just going to make it very simple using these gravy granules. We want 4 teaspoons of gravy granules in there, and then we want boiling water just topped up to about 200 ml. That's about it there. These do take, you've got to stir these for quite a bit to get everything dissolved. So I'll do this now as the toad in the hole has got about 5 minutes left in the oven, and the veg is all looking good, and we'll put this whole thing together very shortly. Okay, that's had about 30 minutes in the oven. It has risen beautifully, nice and crisp on the outside, and that's going to be lovely and fluffy in the middle. I'll see if I can get it out of here, cut it in half, and then we'll start serving this up. There it is. So we shall cut that in half, and we'll stick this bit on the plate. We'll have this now. There it is. And we'll save this bit for tomorrow. As I say, this makes a substantial meal, a very filling meal, and very reasonably priced as well, I think. I'll just put that one over on the drainer for a while. Alright, I've drained these potatoes, pop them back in the pan, and as I say, just before we mash them, I'm just going to put a drizzle of double cream in there, and just about a teaspoonful of butter. And to that I'll add a generous crack of black pepper. Could put a little nutmeg in here as well if you wished, or spice it how you wish, you know. But I like it with a lot of pepper on, the butter and cream, and then well mashed up. That looks delicious. Okay, let's get that out of the pan. And to follow that, we have the carrots now drained off, and also the broccoli. Now that is a delicious meal, and that is £1.51. Just one other thing, we want to get some gravy on there, over the Yorkshire pudding, a little bit on there, That will do me just fine, I tell you. Alrighty, and as ever, the taste test. This looks absolutely delicious, I've got to say. That Yorkshire pudding is done beautifully. Nice and crisp on the outside, lovely and fluffy on the inside. Look at that. Toad in the hole. Beautiful. And the mashed potato and carrots, a little bit of gravy on. And the broccoli, yes. Still got a little bit of bite to it, but that's the way I like it. So, a marvellous meal for £1.51. Exactly the same recipe if you were doing individual Yorkshire puddings for a roast dinner or something like that. Now, I have decided to have a rock bun after this, and there's a recipe for these rock buns just here. These come out at 18p a piece. So that would make the whole meal £1.69, 2 courses. Can I just say, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, do please give it a thumbs up. This helps the video get shared with many more people. Very good for the channel, very good so that other people can watch this type of video. And if you would like to see more videos of this type, more budget meals, easy to do, cakes, recipes, things like this, always very cheap, always very inexpensive and very simple to make, do consider subscribing to the channel. And in the meantime, I'm going to finish off the rest of this toad in the hole and have a rock bun. So I thank you very much for watching.